Ladies and gentlemen, let me briefly explain to you what YouTube's new taxes in the Philippines mean in simple layman's terms. I have been in business in America and now apparently in the Philippines for well over 45 years. And when a new tax regulation or permit fee increase or county ordinance takes effect and they add a particular amount of money to your already legal business, it's just considered COB, cost of doing. So what's going to happen is the thumbnail that I showed you is my current NBI clearance. And this form here, this 1904 form, that is the form that I filled out also last year at the end of June, which is my current tax identification. So that being said, now I just go to the Bureau of Internal Revenue today, June 5th, in the Philippines. That's my first stop. And then I will ask all the pertinent questions and give them the information that they require. Then tomorrow's live stream will be a summation of what the truth is. I've seen a couple of variations of what can and cannot be taxed. I don't know any of it to be true because all of these people are reading off of websites. And then some of them are watching other people's videos where some of the information is correct and some is not. So within the next 28 hours, I'll have a live stream up with the exact information from the Bureau of Internal Revenue. And then I will come and give you the facts. But in the meantime, what we have, what we call in America, crepe hangers. They thrive on other people's losses, let's say. They believe that their life exists in order to do some sort of negative thought transformation into other people's lives. So, for instance, there are so many bloggers out there saying that this is going to be terrible and this is going to cost people money. Yes, it's going to cost people money. That's a fact. It's going to cost you whatever they ask you for. That's a fact. It's called the cost of doing business. And when I find out exactly what those costs are, I will, of course, give them all the information they require, and then I will come back and I will give you the facts as to what it is. But in the meantime, when you're listening to these people, I'm going to report this person, and what if that person gets reported? Those people who get reported should not care about being reported because it's part of doing business. This is what people that have never owned a business, never built a business, never accomplished a working business, running a profit and with a profit margin and deficits and a book, a ledger. These are people that don't understand business. People that understand business know that if there is a new ordinance or a new rule and taxes are required, then that is part of the cost of doing business. There's just no way around that. Now, what they do with the money is they keep a police force intact in the Philippines where you have no problems walking around the city of Tagbilaran or Bohol because of their well-oiled police force that they have. They also have some street maintenance where not all the streets, when I first moved here, most of the roads were dirt roads with potholes in them. Now the main roads going from the city to Alona Beach are all concrete, 10 inches thick. They have sewer conduits and sewer pipes that are going in place. They have 6 and 8 inch water mains that are going into the streets everywhere in Bohol. They have a new pumping station that they're building so that people will not run out of water. They're working on getting new electric power plants. Your taxes are used for your benefit. That's a fact of life. If some of that money gets wasted, that's just part of life also. Government has expenditures that we don't understand or don't comprehend. But for the money that we pay in taxes here, the fact that Bohol and basically the Philippines is a safe place to live because of a well-oiled police force, that's worth it to pay that and double. So for me, taxes and the cost of doing business has always been incorporated in my lifestyle. And now, tomorrow, when I find out what those taxes are, I will tell you. And in fact, this week, I went to get insurance for the men that I'm going to hire to build the hotel. And I have the full schedule. You can insure men for $10,000 for per year. I have the schedule what it costs. So you can insure men for $20,000, which would be 500,000 pesos or 1,000,000 pesos. Not a problem. The actual business end of that takes about 6 or 7 minutes on behalf of the men, and then a trip to the city to add them onto a payroll schedule. And in fact, when Warren comes here and he's a partner in the hotel, when we're done with the paperwork, I can get Warren compensation insurance as well. And as the contractor, that would be me, whose name is on the permits and the plans, who designed the hotel and the permits and the plans and modified the permits and the plans, I can have insurance as well also. And these are some of the things that I have been doing while I haven't been doing live streams. I have always run a legitimate business. And for the people out there, you got to laugh now. You got to laugh when somebody else thrives on another person's pain. That shows a total lack of character and or humility to laugh at another person's hardship. But digressing back to the taxes, I have been threatened, which makes no difference to me whatsoever, that someone is going to report me for my taxes. Well, I suggest you do that. Here's how you spell my name. Michael, Michael, Fazio, F as in Frank, A as in Alpha, Z as in Zebra, I as in India, O as in October. That's my legal name. You report to whomever and however you wish to report, and all that's ever going to happen from that report are the people at the IRS in America are going to look at whatever information you give them, and they're going to push a button, and on the screen, since the year 1993, I have never been late, nor have I ever not filed my entire income to the IRS. So you guys that are going to pay people, and you're going to pay people to investigate other people, and you're going to report people to this person and that person, have at it. It's your privilege to do those things. But the other people that are not so interested in wasting their life energy to report people, just understand that when you hear somebody say, I'm going to report this person, and what if that person gets reported? Those are what I call the Lilliputians of YouTube. They have no understanding, no clear understanding of reality. They have no clear understanding of business, for sure. And they don't have any understanding of life in general. And what they thrive on are other people's pain and suffering. There's entire playlists, probably the last 11 of 13 playlists on my homepage, are based solely to describe why people thrive on other people's pain. According to 11, 12, or 13, or 14 different people with doctorates in the field of psychology and in related fields. You go to my homepage, you look at the playlists, the last 11 of 13, and then you will have a bigger insight into what is known as a certain psychology aspect of people that thrive on hurting other people and why they do it. And I won't tell you why they do it. But tomorrow, 26 hours from now, I will have a live stream telling you what the cost of doing business in the Philippines is. And at this point, I have 3 projects. I have to go renew my NBI clearance, renew my tax license, my tax identification papers, and my license to do business in the Philippines, and pick up my current visa, which is in the office now a few days, and it's ready to be picked up. And I'm going to look for a shaver to shave my head, because every time I walk past a barber shop, it's like a 1-hour wait, and I really just don't feel like sitting on a wooden bench. So, and then I'm having problem with Blue Rose and Warren and 2 techs for the computer all agree that it might be my HDMI plug. So I'll be taking my computer in a bag into the city, and I'll have my HDMI plug checked out, and I'll bring the cable, and if it's not the plug, and if it is the cable, then I'll have my big screen working again. And if it's not, well, I'm going to go to 2 more stores to order that Asus ZenBook Pro Duo i9, because no one has the i7. One store said yesterday in the afternoon they have the i9. I'm reluctant to give them the deposit that they want, because I don't know they'll be in business. So that's another thing. So those things I will do today. And 26 hours from the time this live stream ends, you will have the facts, as best as I can get them for you, of the cost of doing business in the Philippines, baby. So let's see, everyone. Jubert Creason, everyone is being threatened. There are no threats. Jubert cannot threaten someone with taxes that are not due at this point. I do believe, and I'm not sure about this, that the law may have been initiated on June 20th. Well, that would mean that even on a quarterly basis, you'd still have July, August, and September before your first taxes were due. So as long as you abide by the regulations and rules of the Philippines, there can be no threats. Now, I run a legitimate business. Everything I've done is through the bank and through our YouTube accounts and through computers, because we live in the Philippines. So there is no cheating on the taxes. But as far as being threatened, anyone that tries to avoid paying taxes, I don't like taxes as much as the next person, but it's a necessary part of life. And in the Philippines, considering, as I just to digress, considering they give us wonderful police protection against crimes, and we are getting better water and electrical services, taxes are just part of doing business. So, Jubert, thank you for saying hello, and Right now, I'm going to throw on a shirt after I shave, and then I'm heading into the city, baby. So thanks for watching, and God day to everybody from Michael Fazio in the Philippines, baby. There we go. Now we can see again. So I will say umping permy. That's right, baby. Taxes are nothing more and nothing less than the cost of doing business. Bye-bye for now.